Another exciting day on the van build. I messed up again. Oh no, it's leaking.
Welcome to Chaos in a Crafter.
My water tanks have finally arrived. I've gone for two. We've got a huge 180 litre freshwater one and a smaller, but still substantial, 90 litre one. So the big one's for the freshwater and the little ones for the grey water. We're going to put electronic dump valves on these so that we can empty them with the press of the button from inside the cab. It's going to be a lot of weight, which is a major downside, but there are 5 of us traveling and we want to be off grid for up to 3 or so days. I've decided that following the example of everything else, I'm going to try and do as much as possible myself, and I think mounting these underneath should be relatively straightforward. They're designed and molded to the shape of underneath the van. And I have seen that there's just enough room probably for me to lie down and squeeze underneath, but to give me just that little bit more space, I'm going to put the rear wheels up on these ramps, which are rated for up to 3 tons between them. So rear axle is way less than 3 tons, so it should be safe. But what I'll do is I'll chock the front tyres. Those ramps aren't going anywhere. Sweet. The weird shapes is because they sit from underneath. It looks flush, but in reality what happens is it goes in all the various structures of the undercarriage of the van, and it will sit up there, strapped into place, and this enables them to get the maximum amount of water storage and maintain such a low profile as possible. So it shouldn't drop any lower down than the rest of the running gear. So these are in theory always protected from any knocks or scrapes. The big one has arrived pre-drilled, which just means that these inlets and outlets are already open. This one doesn't. This one needs pre-drilling. Do this before you mount them to the van. Otherwise, you might not have the space to get your drill and drill bit in. So make sure you drill these out. It can be useful to screw on the start of your plumbing before you mount them. Just makes it easier once it's in place. I've got the van up on the ramps. We've got space, so time to get these installed. Just laid some cardboard down to make sure my back's comfortable while I'm laid down there, but also to protect the tank. Not sure which way around it goes. We'll figure that out once we get under there and have a look. The other way around is the answer to which way the tank goes. Somehow I flipped it and it's still the wrong way around. Can't quite figure out where it goes.
I brought tea.
Oh, and I almost didn't follow my own advice to pre-drill the damn thing. So just got a step drill bit here to get through these. Right. And we can have a look at these brackets. 1, 2, and 3. And they all look to be exactly the same size. And we will want to make sure we wash it through before we use it, but let's just get the worst of it out now. Now that I've gotten most of it off, I'm just going to get a file to make sure we get the last little bit and make sure it's smooth on both of them. There we go. It's now ready to be actually lifted into place and installed. Next step, attaching the brackets to the tank itself. This just secures the brackets to the tank. Oh, right. I don't know how much space we'll have once we get up there. So I think I'm going to attach these in here. The straight one, less important. It's at the bottom, so there's loads of space and it's also straight. But the last thing I want to do is get it up into place and realise I can't turn this. It looks like it just about turns in its own height. So maybe I'll be all right. But it needs to get on there anyway, so there's no reason not to do it now. I messed up again. Seems like it's a weekly occurrence doing this. Although on the bright side, doing the same job 5 times does mean you get better at it. I spent all day yesterday installing both of these tanks, both this one and, if you're lucky, you can just about see the larger one just under there. It's only when I got inside, all proud of the fact I've managed to do it all by myself, by the way, with no mechanical help at all, just propping it up with my body weight, my arms, and putting a pile of bricks under it and lifting it up slowly. Then I got inside, really pleased, looked into the rest of the plumbing, said that it's really important that you make sure to pre-drill the holes and things because you can't do it once it's in situ. But I then got inside and looked at what was sat on my desk. My tank level sensors, the senders that essentially tell you how much water you've got in your tank. Now, the way you install these is by drilling a hole into the top of your tank, and then we mount them inside the tank, and this floats up, the black bit floats up and down and shows you how much water you've got in your tank. Brilliant, yay. So obviously you need to drill a hole on the top of your tanks, which you can't do while they're in situ. So I've gotten up this morning, miserable, not wanting to do it, but feeling like I now have no choice but to, because the weather's supposed to get rubbish in a couple of days' time. I've now managed to pull it down. Believe it or not, it's actually much easier to get them down and get them back up. And I'm ready to now drill the holes.
I don't wish to alarm you.
It's starting to rain. Yes, I've felt it.
It precipitates.
That's brilliant. Now we've drilled our hole. We just need to put our level sender in. And there we go. That is now our tank sender. Nicely in place, cable run. We can now mount it back to the van again. Just about to remount this tank, and I thought I'd show you something. Right up here, attached to the exhaust, there is this bracket, which mounts with a bolt to the chassis like that. This is one of the bolts that you have to take out and move out of the way, because this is what's going to hold the tank up in this position. In other places, you don't need to worry about that because you just drill a couple of holes and there's some self-tapping screws that go in. But with this bracket, you need to be careful and don't make the mistake I did, which is leaving this one unbolted when you take out the other one around the other side for the bigger tank, and then your whole exhaust drops off the van. So do them one at a time. Should be able to do a pull-up from it because it's that strong. Oh, if I was strong enough to do a pull-up, that is.
What is this thing? Because it looks like a ring box on a tube with a piece of spaghetti coming out of it.
That is a motorised valve. So what it essentially lets it do is when you plug it in inside the van, there'll be a button inside the van. You press it and it'll open this valve. So when we've got our tank full of yucky, dirty water, we'll be able to press a button in the van, this will open, and all of the dirty water will pour out on the floor.
On the floor?
Well, we'll park over a drain. Right, and I have my motorised valve onto which I have screwed an elbow so that it will drain down and slightly away from the edge of the van, and I'm just screwing this in to the water tank so that once it's wired up we can dump our grey water, and I'm really hoping this will fit. Oh, and it does. I was worried I was going to have to take the tank off to do it again. Fits like a glove. It's now time to finish off my freshwater system, so I'll include a link to this, but I just bought one of these freshwater inlets from Rebel Leisure. They essentially just got a hose fitting on one end, and on the back is an isolator that leads to one of those John Guest fittings, but it sits quite proud of the van, and I didn't want it to. So what I wanted to do was cut it down just a little bit to lower its profile. And also I cut the threads off because the threads stuck out another centimetre or so. And I wanted to make sure that it would be kind of low profile and kind of hidden when I wasn't using it. So I've done that. I've left quite a jagged edge on top. So I'm just going to sand down the top so it's nice and flat. And then we'll get it fitted up underneath the van. Oh no, it's leaking. I mean, I'm hearing water going in the tank, so the tank is filling, but it's leaking. Oh, and it's getting all the... Oh, okay, it's leaking on me. Oh yeah, it's leaking from that joint there, which is not one that I've done. This is actually the second time it's leaked, because it was leaking from here earlier. Again, not a joint I've done. So this connector, whatever it is, from Rebel Leisure just arrives clearly without any PTFE tape on it, on any of these joins. So I just need to fix that, and then hopefully that'll be it done. So it's leaking from this joint here. So let's just undo this. It's just plastic in plastic. And when you've got that, we need some PTFE tape to seal it up. And just wrap this up. And then we can put it back together. Ask Hannah to turn the water back on. Hey! Speak of the devil, and she shall appear, bearing gifts. Right, here we go. That will hopefully now make this joint waterproof. Ready when you are. Oh. I'm not seeing any leaks. Water tank's filling up. No leaks. Yes! Can you just bolt this back up? Turn it off! Gonna have to open this. Otherwise I can't get my socket in. Oh, yep. Oh. It's successfully in and on and connected. Yes.